Hi, my name's Rhian Ivory and I have written Matchgirl, which is a contemporary fairy tale retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Matchgirl. Matchgirl will form part of a collection of 3 novellas called 3 Strikes, which will be published by Firefly Press and comes out this October, just in time for Halloween. I was inspired to write Matchgirl having reread The Little Matchgirl by Hans Christian Andersen. It's my favourite fairy tale of his. It's the shortest fairy tale and there's so much in it that we don't know, that's undiscovered about her, about the main character. We don't even know what her name is. So as a writer, when I was exploring this story, there's so much scope left there to work with, so many questions that I wanted to answer as both a reader and a writer. And although I've moved away from the original structure of the fairy tale, hopefully there's still a lot there that if you like fairy tales, you will enjoy and be drawn to. Scary stories have always hugely appealed to me. Probably the first really scary story I read would be The Witches by Roald Dahl. And I can remember thinking this witch could be in my classroom. And then I thought the witches were scary only in that they didn't have any other layers, that they were quite two-dimensional. As an adult reader of scary stories, obviously I understand much more about witchcraft now and have a greater respect for it, so I wouldn't particularly view witches as scary now. What I find scary now instead are locked doors, secrets hidden in dark corners, and I think that's an essential ingredient of a scary story, the element of the unknown, of questions you can't answer or things you can't see or uncover. It's much more frightening to have a suggestion of something scary than see it up close and personal and be able to examine it at length. So I like shadows, I like things that lurk off stage almost. I can recommend so many fairy tales that we could be here all day, so I will try and keep my list short. At the top of my list, the most interesting fairy tale retellings that I've read have been Hilary Mackay's collection of fairy tales, and for me the one that stands out the most was Rumpelstiltskin. It's such an interesting reworking of that fairy tale because he's always cast as the villain, he's always cast in a two-dimensional light, and I like that Hilary Mackay has done something different with that character and given him another story, which is what fairy tale retellings allow us to do. Michelle Harrison is another writer I'd recommend whose work plays with magic and dark themes and suspense and myth and folklore and fairy tales. There's a lot of writers who enjoy reworking myths and fairy tales and legends, so hopefully Matchgirl, if and when you read it, will encourage you to go and explore some more. Another writer who I couldn't miss off this list would be Kieran Millward Hargrave. I've just had a proof of The Way Past Winter, which I think is probably going to be one of the books of the year. It also comes out in October, so hopefully they can sit side by side on your bookshelf.